And I said something like, do you think I can do this? And he goes, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. Do you think you can do this? Do you believe that you can do this? One of the things that I love about the start of the race, any race, whether it's a sprint or a half iron or whatever distance, my absolute favorite part of the races is the very beginning. It's when I'm in transition and I'm setting up my gear, and I am a very social person and I love just talking to people. Why are you here? What are you doing? Oh, is this your first one? Have you ever been here before? Have you ever done this race? Oh, I just love it. It's my favorite part. I go around and my thing is like, I want to be one of the best parts of that person's day. You know, I want the very first thing or the very top of their list to be that they finished. But I want to be near the second or third. I want to be like, oh, I met this girl at the transition at the beginning of the race and she was great. I like cheer everybody on. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm like, even if it's just a good job, yeah, you too. And you can barely speak as you're running or, you know, talking to people. I love it. That's my favorite part is the talking to people during the race. And it's just because I'm just a very social person. However, my very first triathlon, I'd never done one before. I had no idea what to expect. It's quite funny because there's so many things I got wrong that day. And like one of them, for example, was I didn't realize that when they call transition, right? You enter the transition area, which is the area where you're transitioning from one discipline into the next. And like you have your gear and your shoes and your bike, right? I thought that when you crossed that timing mat, that the timer stopped. So it didn't matter how long you were in transition, right? It was the race that was counting. So I have a video of me like walking through, like just casually. I'm like getting out a sandwich. I'm like fixing my hair. You know, everybody else is like, I'm like, I don't know why they're running. Like, why? They have all the time in the world to do this. So it cracks me up when I look back on that video and I'm just like strolling through and eating and taking a sip of water and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Tralee. And it just shows you how far you've come, right? Like right now where I'm just like, I gotta get down my transition under 2 minutes. And that one was probably like 8 minutes. But on that very first race, that very first triathlon, it was a tiny little nothing podunk triathlon, right? They didn't even give medals out. It wasn't even advertised. It was in a pool in this small town in Oregon. I had never done one before. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to wear. I didn't know anything. And I'm in the transition just about to start and I'm trying to get everything set up. And I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna ride with my bike jacket, which is like a heavier cycling jacket, or just a jersey, you know? And I'm like, I don't know what to wear. And let me be clear about my bike here. This was a commuter bike with like pannier racks. Like this is not a tri bike. I mean, I was fully upright, like beach cruiser, quite embarrassing. You know, but I thought to myself, if I can beat somebody on this bike, I didn't beat a single person. Every single person smoked me on that. And I was just like, that's when I realized like, oh, there's probably different bikes for this. So I'm in the start trying to figure out what to wear. And this lady is standing there and she's boasting about her races and she's obviously very fit and, you know, she knows what she's doing. I was like, excuse me, can I ask a question? Should I wear my bike jacket or should I wear my bike jersey for the bike run? And she looked at me and she said, honey, I don't care what you wear. You're not going to beat me. And it just set the tone for that race. It was just like, you're right. You don't know anything about this. You don't belong here. You're not an athlete. You don't even know what to wear. I think about her at the start of every single race. She is the reason why I want the person next to me to have an amazing day. And I've carried like kind of her negative energy to transition that into my absolute positive energy to do these races. There's hundreds of reasons why I have chosen to do this, but I think the main reason is family. I was really lucky enough to have an amazing family, an amazing mom and dad that not only supported me, they believed in me in whatever I wanted to do. And they allowed me to do the things I wanted to do. That gave me such strength in my life to do anything I wanted to do. I'm turning 40 this year. You know, I've been doing these triathlons for 10 years and I'm enjoying them. I'm happy where I am. But I wanted to show my kids like a sense of accomplishment, like a sense of that like Everest or that like unachievable, like maybe I could do it, but it would be really, really hard. And mine was, how about I do an Ironman? A full distance Ironman triathlon is a 2.4 mile swim. It's 112 miles on the bike, and then it's a full marathon at the end of it. So it equals 140 miles overall. It takes the greats about 7 hours, and it gives everybody else 17 to complete it. So you have 17 hours to do it. That'd be a good 40th birthday. Some people go to Bali. I'd torture myself for 17 hours. Life is so short. It can be gone in a second. You can be waiting at a stoplight to go to work someday and it's gone. You know, and my mom's experience taught me that too. You know, she was like my best friend. You know, I could pick up the phone anytime and like just call her, talk about anything. She was always my biggest supporter of everything I did. You know, she made me laugh all the time. I made her laugh. Oh my gosh, I miss making her laugh. She was so easy to make laugh. I'm very honored and grateful for her and for having her. Even if I just had 35 years with her. I mean, I had 35 really great years. My mom was a swimmer. That's where I get the swimming from. My mom taught me to swim. I was about 2 weeks old. And people are like, come on, 2 weeks old, your mom taught you to swim. I'm like, no, seriously, I have the proof. I have the photo of me being 2 weeks old, my mom doing water stuff with me. And she was my first coach. You know, she taught me how to swim. And then I loved it so much that I got into swim team, and that was kind of our connection to each other. We always had like swimming to relate to. Growing up when I was a competitive swimmer, every Saturday of every summer for 10 years, my mom would drive all over the area where we lived, spend hours in the sun, countless hours in the bleachers to watch me swim for a minute. But she gave up her whole Saturday, every Saturday of the summer, because it was something I wanted to do. I mean, here I am like 8 or 9 years old swimming, and she treated it like it was the Olympics. So I've always felt close to her in the water. My mom passed in 2017 in November, and I did my very first half iron triathlon in September of 2017. My motivation for doing that race was to push myself, was to show her something great. Like her daughter could accomplish something great in her life before she passes on. My mom was going through the end of her treatment and probably the worst parts of her disease. No matter what pain I was going through, whether on race day or in training, I knew that as soon as I stopped, my pain's gone, but hers isn't. And that was the thing that pushed me. You can quit, you can stop, and your pain is going to stop, but your mom's pain isn't going to stop. She's in pain every day. I knew my mom was really sick, but I talked my whole family into like, hey, let's go down to Santa Cruz. Come watch me do this race. We'll make it a big family event. We'll stay in a beach house. We'll have a big party. I had this grandiose idea of like, oh, the day of the race, you know, I'll finish the race and I'll like turn to her and I'll be like, you're my inspiration. But the reality was my mom was really sick. I bought everybody matching t-shirts, bright pink t-shirts so I could see them. And I'm on my bike and I see this group of people and here they all are, all of my family members in their t-shirts, you know, waving. And I'm crossing the finish line and I'm just like, yeah. And I'm like looking around, oh, where's mom? Where's mom? And they're like, mom wasn't feeling good. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like mom needed to be here. Like in my dream and how I envisioned this, like mom was here. So we go back to the beach house and she's got this beautiful view over the ocean. She's just like right on this cliff. She was sleeping. And I kind of knock on the door and I come in and I'm like, hey, I have the medal around my neck. And I'm like, hey mom, I'm back. I'm all done. And she's just like, oh, that's good. I'm really proud of you. Sorry I couldn't be there. I just didn't feel good. And I'm like, no, it's okay. And I give her the medal and I'm like, mom, I want you to know that you are my inspiration to do this. You are what pushed me through to get to this point. And I have this photo of her and she's sitting at the beach house and my kids are like watching TV next to her. And it's the last photo that I have of her and my kids together. She got really sick after that trip. The last time I remember seeing my mom, I went down there just before she had passed away. I was sitting next to her and she'd kind of woken up and I was talking to her and I was like telling her, I was like, mom, I'm not ready. Like, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for you to go. And she was ready. And she said, she said, I'm not worried about you. You're going to be fine. You always have been. I've never had to worry about you. And you're going to raise the kids beautifully, and you're going to be fine. And that was the last thing she said to me. I think when somebody is dying, the best thing you can give them is the sense that you're going to be okay when they're not there anymore. I have a wonderful life. I have a beautiful life. And I think a lot of that is because of what her and my dad gave me over the years of, the beautiful foundation that they gave me and that I was able to give my kids. So with each passing day, I'm living for her and she lives with me, and I'm giving her that gift of being okay. My mom's name is Maureen, but everybody knew her as Mo. That was her nickname, was Mo. In my family, we all had these little pet names. My name was Kit. That was what my mom called me all the time, Kit. I mean, I have it tattooed on my arm. I always like to name things. Like, I think it's good luck to, if you have like a boat or a car or a bike, you name it. It makes it a little bit more personal so that when you're like riding, you can talk to it. I finally saved up and I bought myself a good TT bike. So I'm out there riding my bike and I'm like sitting to myself thinking like, come on, let's go. And I was like, let's go, Mo. And it just like hit me. I was like, let's go, Mo. It's my mom. The bike's name is Mo. So whenever we talk about the pink bike, we talk about Mo. I have a mantra that I tell myself. I promise you'll recover. And I say that to myself over and over and over. I promise you'll recover. I promise you'll recover. And it's true not only in sport, but in life, right? Basically, I'm saying, I know that this hill you're climbing is so hard and your heart is at its max and your legs feel like lead. But you know what? There's a downhill. There's an end to this hill. And once you stop pedaling, your heart rate's gonna lower, your breathing's gonna come back to normal, and you're gonna be fine. And within a few hours, you're gonna be in your nice comfy bed, or you're gonna be enjoying a big meal, whatever it is. And that's my motivation to get through that tough part of that race or that training session, was like, I promise this is gonna be over soon, that you're gonna recover, you're gonna feel better. There's so many times in life that you're gonna go through something, and you're gonna be like, this is like the worst thing I could possibly go through. But if you just hold on, if you just hang out a little bit longer, I promise you'll recover. It will get better. Things will change. Between a full-time job, being a mom, and then training, it's so tiring. I like collapse some days into bed like, oh, it's over until tomorrow. If you put in the effort, like, amazing things could happen, but it requires work. Like, you got to show up. You got to do it. You got to give it your best. And that's for everything in life. And if I had any advice for my kids, through this, would be try to do something that scares you, that you don't think you can do, and just see how it goes. If you don't scare yourself, it's not worth it. If you're not scared, you're not trying. I've always finished a race. The possibility of not finishing this race, right? Like, that's a possibility. And I think that's what makes it so much more of a sense of achievement, is the high possibility of not succeeding. And if you're not prepared to deal with failure, if you're not prepared to deal with not finishing that, then are you even prepared to be there? I don't know how the accomplishment of finishing the race will change me. What is important to me is the journey to get there. Good, bad, or whatever happens after. I got myself to the start line and I did everything I needed to do. The rest is on that day. Something that's really interesting to me about, especially these big races and these big events like an Ironman or a half Iron, is there's thousands of different reasons people do these. And when you start to talk to them and you turn to them and you kind of ask them what their story is, there's so many different reasons people are doing it. There's people who are doing it to battle addiction. There's people who are doing it to get over a diagnosis. There's people who are doing it because they want to challenge themselves. There's people who are doing it to honor the memory of somebody. And that's what fascinates me. That's my favorite part of triathlon. Standing at the beginning of this race, turning to the person next to you and just a friendly hello, a shake, a good luck, and what brought you here. And you find out so much about people.
What are you clear cutting, Tralee?
What am I clear coating? My nails.
It's awesome.
Super excited that you're here and I get to experience what's like here.
Have you done, how many Ironman have you done?
I've done 3 halves and this will be my first full.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm just turned 40.
Yeah, so I'm way older than that. So what's it like to be 50% more?
I'm
100% more.
I'm really excited about it. I finally at a point in my life, I was a single mom for so long, so I had to train with 2 small kids, so I'm finally at a point where they're old enough where I can focus on my training and do a full.
This is everything I'm doing. I'm basically just packing my bags right now with my stuff I brought. I've got my morning stuff, my swim stuff, and the clothes I'm gonna wear in the morning. Then I've got my bike stuff, most of my nutrition, and shoes, socks, helmet, all of that, bottles, in a bag ready to go. All of my run stuff. I run with a pack, my nutrition, bottle, shoes, so forth, and then special need bags with some food, drink, and salt tabs in them, some encouragement cards for my family, and just trying to get everything laid out. It's like, feels like it takes as long as it does race.
It's getting real now.
It's like the most gorgeous transition ever.
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Like, so pretty.
I'm just recording.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll do it on that. It's 4:25 in the morning on race day. It's early. And I think in the middle of the night last night, I just woke up like with the realization of what I'm doing. Just like, today you're doing an Ironman. It woke me right up. But I think the worst part of doing these races and doing any race is that feeling at the beginning of it. I want to wake up and be like, yeah, and be able to put food in my stomach and feel good about having some breakfast and not feel like I'm going to pass out and puke at the same time. I want to be done already. Oh, if I could just get my stomach to calm down. Nerves. That's the worst part to me, is this right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the moment you wake up
Till you
are like
hit the water.
until you're comfortable in the water.
Yeah.
Because when you first hit the water, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And then you settle in.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like when your nerves are at their highest, you can't eat, your
Yeah.
heart's racing,
Yeah.
you're nauseous, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
you have all that self-doubt, everything's going through your head.
Self-doubt.
Yeah.
What's self-doubt? About what?
Like, can I do this? Do I want to do
Fuck
this?
it. You can do it. It's not an option. Yes, you can do it.
It's not an option.
It's not. You know? It's like, yeah, I got this. You gotta believe. Believe, baby.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm.
Just going for a swim.
I mean, I guess I could just start by saying Ironman Canada was beyond what I could have ever imagined. From the moment we arrived in Penticton, it was gorgeous. The area is gorgeous. I mean, my family was there. I felt so blessed to have so many people. And it just seemed like so many things were ticking off and happening because I was there and I was supposed to be there in that moment, experiencing what I was experiencing. I think if you can get to the start line and feel like you're ready, then all the hard work is behind you. My 3 goals when I went into the Ironman was just have fun, don't get hurt, finish. And as a bonus, if you can experience every moment of it, experience every moment. The day before, my husband and I had gone out to the water to take a look at it and take a look at the course and to spread my mom's ashes a little. I always bring her with me on races and put her in the water because I think that's where she's going to be the most at home. And I'm out there on the beach and I'm staring out into this water and it just seems like it just goes forever. It's so far. I remember kind of taking this deep breath and I said to my husband, I said, that it's a really long way. And he said something to me, which at the moment, like, it didn't quite click, but I carried it with me the entire day. He goes, Tralee, if the swim is long for you, then it's long for everyone. Just take it 1 minute at a time until you can take it 5 minutes at a time, until you can take it an hour at a time, until you can take it several hours at a time. But when I got in that water that morning and I started swimming and I got into a pace fairly quickly of what I wanted to do, it just sunk in at that moment. It was like, he's right, minute by minute. And I started counting my strokes over and over and over again. I did that for over an hour. All of a sudden I looked down at my watch and I'm like 20 minutes in, 28 minutes in, 40 minutes in. I'm almost done. I got to see this gorgeous sunrise over the water. And all of a sudden from that moment on, you're like, the sun is on me today. Like, here we go. And I will see this sunrise and I will see this sunset on this course. You know, when you get out of the swim and you get on your bike and you're so full of adrenaline, and I just kept telling myself, like, take it easy. Like, you got a long day in front of you. Don't be burning it, you know, too fast. I was so excited for the bike. I heard a lot about the course. I was excited about the course. I kept telling myself, patience, patience. Have patience with yourself, with this course, because it's gonna pay off. And there was, you know, definitely some parts on the bike where it was like, it was challenging, trying to just be kind to myself of where I was. This is where you are. And I kept telling myself that. Sure, it's easy to look ahead and think about, you know, the 112 miles in front of you, but right now you're at 63. So be at 63.
Looking good. Still smiling.
I know I said it was gonna be hard, but it's not hard. That's what it looks like. Oh my gosh.
Awesome, baby.
My family, being the wonderful family that they are, I was able to talk them into wearing inflatable costumes on the course so that I could see them. You know, what turned into originally like, hey, this will be great because I'll be able to see you out of the crowd. I'll be able to see you in your inflatable costumes, was a huge morale boost to everybody on the course.
Good job, Tralee. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. You got it. Be patient. You got it.
My watch died at mile 8 of the run, which at first I was like, oh my gosh, my watch died. It was absolutely the best thing that could have happened because I was not more present than when that watch died. I didn't know what time it was. I didn't know what pace I was doing. I didn't know what my heart rate was. I didn't have any numbers. I just knew that this is literally where I am and this is where you are. When I would see somebody in need, I was always like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Like, I'm not there to win. I was there to experience it. And even if experience it meant helping somebody who needed me, that's experiencing the race, right? That's like being present and in the moment is when your moment interacts with their moment. That came full circle for me because there was parts in the marathon that I needed someone. I needed something. I met my like marathon angels that helped get me through different parts of the marathon. I honestly think I sometimes wouldn't have finished without some of them. The longer I was on the course, the more amazing the people that I met were. They were having so much more fun than the people at the beginning that were all focused on, winning and finishing and, head down, get through this. Like I said, I was there to experience it. I didn't even care what time I got. Sub Monday. My girls were with me and they were out there on the course as well. And I think that was really important for them. I think it was important for them to see Mom put all of her training and hard work into place, and to see that although she had still trained and prepared for it, like it was still hard. And I think that's an important lesson for them, that even when you set your mind to do something and you're doing it, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but you have to believe in yourself, even if no one else believes in you. As you approach the finish line, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter, and there's more and more lights and camera. And to cross that finish line, like literally emerging out of the darkness with like what felt like the light of the world on my face, and my family and loved ones are right there. I will remember that finish forever because of that. How much I worked to get there, how much I wanted to be there, how much I visualized being there, and to hit that chute and see that come to fruition. How can you not smile? Like, it almost gets me emotional thinking about how can you not smile and have literally the weight of the world like lifted off of your shoulders at that moment. I mean, I was like screaming as I crossed that finish line. It's exactly what I wanted. Exactly the way I pictured it. That is an example of really believing in yourself.
Yeah, there she is. Oh my God, dude. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I think you did.
You did it! That was good! We need you, Ori. We need you to make your mark.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
It's
Crazy. Look how much bigger the medals are compared to the half. It damn well better be.
Yeah. Congrats, baby.
Congratulations! Now go get a photo.
Go get it, but here, I don't want to wear this.
I'll take it.
You're so good, Mom. Oh yeah.
You did.
Oh yeah.
Well, you finished it. That's all we wanted. Go to bed.
We got you food. Okay, so what's the plan? You and CJ?
Mom's gonna go take care of herself.
I did talk to my mom a little bit at the beginning. I said a little prayer for her to be with me on the swim and guide me, and as always, I always feel her in the swim. I was swimming along and I felt her right next to me. I felt like she was just with me the whole day. I not only felt her, I felt people that were alive with me. I felt my dad with me. I felt my kids, my husband. I felt my family, all my friends back home that were watching me on the, the app and stuff. I felt all of it. I felt everybody's love across the miles. That made the experience so special. I did what I came to do. I didn't get hurt. I had fun, and I finished. And I was present every moment. Whatever the time was, I don't even know, because to me, it was the 3 goals were met. I hope somebody takes my experience that I've been able to share and uses it to help them, whatever they're going to go through or do. It doesn't have to be an Ironman. It could be whatever challenge they're going to go through. I had everybody in the family that had come to the Ironman, I had them all write me little inspirational cards on a note card that I could then put in the different bags throughout the day, so that when I got to the transition or I got to an aid station that had the bags, I could open them up and read a little bit of an inspirational quote from my family members. And it was just a little reminder for me that a little, like I had to get to the next station because I had to see what the next note said. One of the things that my dad had written was just believe. And it took me back to just a few days before that when we were sitting in the kitchen of the house. And I said something like, do you think I can do this? And he goes, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. Do you think you can do this? Do you believe? And it really put me in a spot where I had to answer that question. It was like, it's a good question. Do I? And ultimately the answer was yes.